and to sort of like to visualize some image and have a trust in that rather than being nirgun. When nirgun is imperishable and very difficult, I mean, to just focus and meditate itself. Lord Krishna says you can do either way, but again, this sakar roop is much easier to do it other than nirakar roop.
Correct. So here it is itself, it is said that only those who have renounced all desires, okay, and renounced all actions, who are sannyasis, are the ones who will worship that which is imperishable Brahma, the Nirgun Nirakar, okay, who is without any attributes. Okay. And
So
hence,
here he's saying Brahma, not with Brahma, Lord Brahma. He's considering that human being as a imperishable Brahma. Am I
no,
correct?
no, this is that ultimate soul, ultimate consciousness, ultimate Atma, ultimate
Yeah,
Brahma.
that's we have the Atma.
Yeah.
Right.
So he's not mentioning, quoting about Lord
Nothing.
Brahma.
Nothing.
Brahman.
But Lord Brahma is
Brahman.
Brahman.
Brahman,
No,
yes.
not Lord.
Not
Yeah,
Brahma, but
Brahman.
Right.
Brahman,
Because
right.
if you say cosmic forms means Sagun Sakar.
Correct.
The Sagun Sakar.
Correct. Cosmic form is Sagun Sakar. Because all the glories are there, all the gunas are there. So therefore, and he is, in a sense, taking a form, Sakar. Nirakar is formless. Okay. Who is without any attributes. Now, here in the bracket, I have put with appropriate qualities. We'll understand that we have to still attribute some qualities to or some aspects to this Nirgun Nirakar to understand the Nirgun Nirakar. Being Nirgun, it cannot have any attributes. Okay. But still, you're giving it some, and therefore what is being used as a word there is adjectives. So there's some adjectives which are being added to this Nirgun Nirakar, which I am using the word qualities here because it's easier to understand. That's why I'm using the word qualities. Otherwise, the right word is Visheshan, which is adjectives. Okay, because there can be no qualities which can be there in this. Okay, just clarifying it because sometimes this question will come: how are you giving it certain qualities? And we'll understand this also in this few shlokas as to why we do it. But essentially, to keep that in mind, that the qualities which we are attributing to this Nirgun Nirakar, we are essentially Visheshans, are only adjectives. Okay, and what and why they are, we'll also understand that. So, who is without any attributes and hence unmanifest? Only those things which have attributes can be manifest. कोई क्वालिटी होगी या कोई चीज होगी, कोई कलर होगा, कोई शेप होगी, तभी वो मैनिफेस्ट करेगा, नहीं तो वो मैनिफेस्ट नहीं करेगा. And hence unmanifest, they worship that which is beyond the sense instruments. So it is also beyond the senses. This is repetitively coming, but it has got certain meaning to it, which we will use as we go along. Okay? Please go ahead.
That matter which can be known by the sense instruments, etc., is said to be manifest.
So this is why it is being said. That which can be understood by the sense organs is said to be manifest. Please go ahead.
Because the root of the word
Prapanch.
is anch, which means is visible to the senses. And this imperishable is opposite, not known by instrument, and constitutes qualities told by realized great persons, Mahapurush, those who worship such Brahman.
Okay. So these qualities which are being mentioned, or these adjectives which are being mentioned about the Nirgun Nirakar, are only those which have been given by those who are realized people, the Mahapurushas, the people who have been worshipping Brahma. Okay, so it's not that they be existing as qualities, but they have been given. Okay, by those
as a
Mahapurushas.
description
Yeah.
for others.
Correct, exactly. Not that it has any of those qualities or attributes. Okay, but we'll understand some of these and see as to whether they make some sense or no. Okay. Please go ahead.
Who between the two is superior? Meaning, who knows more about yoga?
So the question he's asking is, who is superior? The one who is worshipping this imperishable Brahma, or the one who is worshipping that which is the cosmic form? That's what the shloka is saying and asking. Please go ahead.
So, is the word superior appropriate in the sense that
Shresht. The word is Shresht. Okay.
Shrestha is superior.
So you can choose your
no, I'm
English
just
word
trying to
for
say
it.
that whichever path you go looking for, your ultimately your goal is the same.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Yeah,
I mean,
so
it could be
which
an
path-
easier path.
Yeah, it's.
Are
So
you looking for an
I think
easier
this-
path, or are you looking for a
No,
superior
but I
path?
think
There's a
this is
difference.
contextual in the sense which is not superior or inferior, which is more suitable for you.
Exactly. That's more like it. Shresht
that's
in
what
that
I'm saying,
sense.
that,
Shresht
so-
is the word, no? And it will be it
Shrestha
will
for you.
no, that will get described now. As you go along, you will
Okay.
figure it out. Okay, yeah.
Bhagwan
Those who
speaks. Sorry.
directly realize Paramatma in essence, and those who first look at the manifestations, or is it something to do with that? Why it is superior in terms of the path? Because both of them, both the paths have the same.
We'll understand that now. It's coming up.
Because the
Let
way
me
I
not sort of
look
just
on-
reveal everything and just talk my own language rather than understand what he is saying. Yeah? Let's look at that.
Bhagwan speaks. Those who are without desire, knowers of the essence or truth, who worship the imperishable Brahmana, we will speak about them later. But those other ones,
So this is where he has stepped in to say very clearly that he is not going to tell you which is superior. Okay, he's reflected that question of superiority, and we'll understand that how and why. Okay, he says that those who understand the essence or the truth, who worship that imperishable Brahma, उनकी बाद में बात करूंगा. ठीक है? Because as we know, it has been said earlier, somewhere I think in chapter 7, कि जो मेरे को ब्रह्मा को करता है वो मेरा मैं वही हो जाता वो मैं ही हो जाता है. He becomes me, the self alone. Okay. Now that is a contention which is a very powerful contention, where he's saying that if you worship Brahma, you become Brahma alone. And here, with the cosmic form, if you worship the cosmic form, you attain me, the Vasudev, the cosmic form. Are you seeing the two differences, right? So let's look at how and why it is being said.
In this, like cosmic form, like people pray cosmic form, worship cosmic
Correct.
form, or people pray imperishable. Imperishable, generally, I find people do like Om. They concentrate on Om only,
Correct.
or they are concentrating on one, like एक ज्योत या एक जलता
Yeah,
है.
it is given in the chapter 7, 8, the definitions of
that,
how.
that will come under imperishable.
Correct. They say that Om ko hum lete hain as if it is indicative of that Brahma. In that sense. Yeah. 1202.
1202 begins. That devotee whose mind is in a state of samadhi or deep contemplation on cosmic universal form of Parameshwar, the Ishwar of all those who have mastery over yoga. He without desires, without the five negative emotions or afflictions, ignorance, avidya, ego, asmita, attachment, rag, aversion, dvesh, fear of death, Avinivesh. He who worships me, the omniscient Ishwar, as meant in the last shloka of the 11th chapter, with dedication and supreme devotion, Uttam Shraddha, they are the most distinguished and superior, Shreshtatam yogis. This I believe.
Okay. So this is categorically said that if you worship that cosmic form in the manner which has been suggested or described, then I believe they are the most superior, distinguished yogis. Okay, which डॉक्टर साहब was alluding to a little earlier. ठीक है ना? ये बताया है, कृष्ण भगवान ने कहा है कि यदि आप इस तरह से करेंगे तो आप
मुझे अटेन कर सकते हैं.
हाँ हाँ ठीक है प्लीज.
Because they continuously spend their day and night with their mind engaged in me alone. Hence, it is correct to say they are the most capable, yuktatam.
So they are most capable is a word which is difficult to take from yuktatam. युक्त मतलब capability wise युक्त होता है, and yuktatam is supremely capable type. So it is like close to capable, but it's a little different. That's why I picked up the word and kept it there, yuktatam. And we have some reference to this later on also, and that's why they kept it here. They are continuously spending their day and night with their minds engaged in me and performing actions only for me. Okay, and therefore they become yuktatam.
And there's an emphasis on me alone somewhere.
Correct. In me alone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Single minded. Which has been constantly referred to.
Constantly.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, is it to say that others are not capable? This is not so. But that which has to be said about them, listen. 1203. But those persons who worship that imperishable Akshar, unchanging, since it is unmanifest, it is not the subject of words and cannot be described by words, Anirdeshya. Words can describe an object's attributes, actions, class, and or relationship, and it is not revealed by any means of cognition, and hence it is unmanifest, Avyakt.
So here we're trying to see that this akshar, which is imperishable, unchanging, how is it unmanifest? Okay. Because we all believe that we can only understand that which is manifest. So how is it unmanifest? Because it cannot be described by any words. Words have a limitation that they can only talk about attributes, color, shape, okay,
Which by themselves are manifest.
which are manifest, and the manifestation
Is
is
the
only
limitation.
expressed through the color, shape.
Colors, whatever.
Correct, yeah. In some cases, the manifestation is expressed that he is a driver, he is a shepherd, he is denoted by that action which he performs. Okay, that's the way you can use the word for to denote somebody who performs a certain action. That is what a word can talk about. The word can talk about similarities of the same class, of the same nature, animal. Okay, same rich, poor. Okay, but there are no other words. Words can't be used for anything else except for attributes, for some description about what activity the person performs, okay, and what is the class of things which it is referring to, and finally, what is the relationship with something else. Okay. How can a word be used only for relationship? Uska bhai. I can describe you as his mother, her son, relatedness. Okay. And it is not revealed by any means of cognition. So this imperishable, avyakt, unmanifest cannot be revealed by any means of cognition. Are you understanding? So there is nothing which is cognitive. You cannot cognitively understand or see or talk about it. Okay?
You can't touch, can't smell, can't see.
You just know. You just know.
But
Yeah.
you don't even, I don't know.
Hmm?
I mean, you can't even,
Imagine.
Visualize.
You can't visualize.
Imagine,
yeah,
visualize.
you can't perceive. It's beyond all senses, including your brain. So,
Yeah.
It is just like, focusing on, as she mentioned, just like a light or om. That's it. Otherwise, there's no akar to it. There's no shape to it.
Om has been given as a representative used by those people who are sadhaks, believing fully well that Om is denoting, in some sense, that Akshar imperishable.
yeah, maybe. But Om itself is a sound.
It is
Yeah.
And again, it's beyond all
right, sounds.
sounds. Yeah.
But it is still
So
not.
that we
Om
say-
is from the senses, right? It's a
It is.
sound.
It is.
Yes.
This is
But-
beyond senses.
This
Yeah.
is beyond senses.
So it is
So
only.
even when you talk about candlelight or Om, this is beyond that.
Yeah. It is only being used as a surrogate.
Yeah.
Understand that. Okay. It's only as if we are understanding. It is denoting it. It is not it.
So it is it's like a very personal connection.
It's
No.
knowing. I think it's
Sambandh,
just a
no.
knowing. No.
No.
Is it just a
No
knowing?
relationship.
Your relationship you can have only with Sagun Sakra.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Your relationship with the divine is very personal. Cannot be.
Yeah, but it
No,
cannot be
explain.
with the
Nirgun.
Nirgun.
Cannot be with Nirgun.
With the imperishable.
Okay.
It's a bit confusing.
No.
No, it is.
It is a division which is being which has to be understood. Okay, it's been repeatedly said right from the beginning in various shlokas. It is not that it is being spoken of only here, but here it is being said more categorically because we need to understand how to worship.
See, till chapter 6, I think we were trying to. I can't even use the word understand. But till chapter 6, it was that concept about Nirgun Nirakar. And then it comes that, look, it's impossible for majority of the people. So
Let's get down to the Sagun. Okay, because when we do dhyan, for example, meditation, and that's how it started in chapter 6. Okay, what did you dhyan on? किसके बारे में ध्यान करोगे? ये जो सांस आवागमन हो रहा है उस पे ध्यान करोगे तो क्या मिलेगा? जिस पे ध्यान करोगे वही चीज मिलेगी ना. ध्यान करने का अर्थ ही क्या है? उसका अर्थ यही है जिस पे ध्यान करोगे वो चीज आपको प्राप्त होनी चाहिए, तभी ध्यान करोगे.
Unless
So-
you recognize that is just a symbol or a medium through which you are
Reaching there.
reaching out
Reaching-
to something that is beyond.
Correct. It is a practice which is being followed, hopefully with the ability to take you there where you can attain that which is nirgun. Okay.
So there was, I think, in the chapter there was this question of focus. So what do you use to focus?
Yeah, what do you use
What do
to
you
focus?
focus on?
So in some ways, Om is like that.
Because the
Something
minute
to
you go
focus on.
beyond the atmosphere of Earth, there's no air, so there's no sound. You cannot travel. And then there is no light. So there's nothing. I mean, it's.
I don't have to go beyond that. I've just been testing out a different headset, and it just cancels out everything outside.
Yeah,
1 foot away, I can't hear what is
we
being
can't
said.
hear. Yeah, exactly.
It's just cancelling it. I'm
So
only hearing what's
considering
coming
this,
in
that
there.
all the Arya Samajis who believe in Nirgun, who does not believe in Sakaratmak, this thing, or Sagun, are they considered to be to reach that attain like it Brahmans or Brahmas?
Brahma. Okay. So let's look at Arya Samaji or any sect in our own Sanatan Dharma.
Who don't believe in Murti Puja.
So what do? They offer Vedic rites, rituals to the fire, do havan, do yajna, and fulfill whatever they desire by doing that particular havan, yajna. Am I right, sir? So a havan or a yajna, if it is being done, it has a certain purpose. That purpose gets fulfilled if certain mantras, in the way it has been prescribed in the Vedas and in the manner in which it is supposed to be performed, is done properly, then you are attaining that outcome, which is perfect. There's no issue. Now, it is said very clearly in Gita by Krishna Bhagwan himself that by performing yajnas, you can get that which is manifest. जो चीजें आपको चाहिए वो सब आपको मिल जाएगी, मिल सकती हैं, पर उसके परे के लिए कुछ भी आप कर्म करेंगे तो वो कर्म से आप उसको नहीं पा सकते. इस चीज को यहाँ पर दोहराया है. Any method of cognition, any method, any action by which you can attain that, so कोई कर्म करके हम उसको नहीं पा सकते निर्गुण को. हम अच्छे कर्म करें, हम शुद्ध हो जाएंगे, हम सात्विक हो जाएंगे. ठीक है. हम यज्ञ करें, हमको जो भी हमारे को सिद्धियां चाहिए वो मिल जाएंगी.
यज्ञ भी तो कर्म ही है.
हाँ, वो कर्म, सिद्धियां मिल जाएंगी. मैं थोड़ा सा डिफरेंट एग्जांपल दे रहा हूँ. कर्म ही है, सिद्धियां मिल जाएंगी, कुछ हमें पावर्स मिल जाएंगी, सिद्धि का मतलब. ठीक है. और वो सब मिल सकता है, पर उसको अटेन करने के लिए इन सब चीजों से कैसे परे जाना है वो समझना है, कैसे उसको पाना है वो समझना है.
Earlier also it was mentioned that even in manifest form, whether it's yajna, fire, or it's Hanuman or other, whatever you desire, you can get. But to go beyond that is what
Is
you're
something
saying.
which we'll
Yeah.
have to figure out.
The ultimate goal is beyond that.
Beyond that.
Yes.
वही
Because-
निर्गुण है ना.
हाँ, वो निर्गुण है.
वही निर्गुण.
वही
हम
निर्गुण.
क्या
Because
सोच के आप बोलते हो ना, when you do meditation you think of, have some focus, think about God. So what do we think about?
so that's where
Where is
sadhana
God?
is needed.
That is where Saguna is needed.
Needed.
हाँ.
The path to Nirgun is through Saguna,
Through sadhana.
which is what we'll have to understand as we go along. ये सब बताया है इसमें, मैं बोलना नहीं चाह रहा था, पर वही पाथ है. ठीक है. इसलिए हम कर्म करते हैं,
फिर उसके बाद में निर्गुण तक इंसान पहुंच.
इसीलिए हम कर्म
पहुंच
करते हैं, इसीलिए हम भक्ति करते हैं, जिससे हम अपने को शुद्ध कर सकें और ये जो सगुण है वो हमको प्राप्त हो जाए.
Asakti Rahit is what we have to achieve. Isn't it?
आसक्ति रहित इज पार्ट ऑफ द कर्म एस्पेक्ट. हाँ,
Yeah, asakti रहित कर्म.
ये भी अभी सब आएगा इसमें. हाउ इज इट काउंटेड एज वन ऑफ द वर्शिप्स,
हाँ, वो शुरू में ही.
मेथड्स ऑफ.
था ना वो कर्म योगी और संन्यास योगी. तो संन्यास तो है ही है वो, but everybody is not a sannyasi.
Yeah, which is
You
repeated.
have- that's why you have to keep going through the karma yogi, and that is why
Yeah.
Sakar
But
also is-
one who does Asakti Rahit Karma, I think Bhagwan has said he is like a sannyasi.
He is like a sannyasi.
But he's not actually.
He is not that sarv karm sannyasi.
Sir,
He is a karm yukt sannyasi, and therefore he is not directly able to achieve that nirgun. He still has a small step to take before he can get there. We'll understand that step also as we go along. Okay, but he is nearly there type thing. That is within the realms of what we can do, if you understand that. Okay, because originally itself in Gita on page number 1, there are two forms of people: Nivritti Roop, Pravritti Roop. Pravritti Roop is the one which has got intention, which has got action, which has got form, everything. Nivritti Roop is that which has got no action, nothing. Those who are born in Nivritti, which is people who are born and they are seen to be already realized at the age of 6 or 7 or 8, they are in that category of Nivritti Roop, Dharma. We are all in the Pravritti Roop, Dharma. So we have to perform actions. So what actions? How do we get there? That is the question. We can realize what we need to realize within the context of this manifested space. All the desires can be fulfilled. We can get all the powers we want through various practices. But can you realize that ultimate nirgun? That is the question which we have to get answered to. And how do we do it? Okay. So various forms of worships are being going to be talked about, and how one is better than the other, who can do what. Like in chapter 10, chapter 10 it was mentioned, यदि आप ये नहीं कर सकते तो ये तो कर सकते हैं, कम से कम इतना तो कर सकते हैं, फिर इतना तो कर सकते हैं. तो जितना भी आप कर सकते हैं उतना तो शुरू करो, ये कहते हैं भगवान. मैं उसमें भी आपको हेल्प करता हूँ.
I was thinking that dissonance which continuously is there in my mind,
Hmm.
which I talk in every session, is that ultimately Lord Krishna is saying, do what I say, don't do what I do. And that's where the problem lies.
I don't
Do what I say, but don't do what I
What I
do.
do.
Yes.
What does he do?
He
All
doesn't
the
do anything.
examples we.
No, he doesn't do any of that, which he'll
Yeah,
tell you again later on.
Yeah, he doesn't do.
No, we
That's
say
not
all that the current story, the killing, meaning with Chal
He's
se
not done
Mara.
that.
No.
But that's not him.
That is not him.
That's not.
He says so.
That's
Anyway.
karma.
That is him.
So we are here.
We are now on the second sheet,
Yeah.
page 3,
Yeah.
sheet 3.
Yeah.
Continuing with 1203.
3 on the top, correct. This is our slide number 5. Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah, please.
So that which can be meditated upon, which is made into the subject of the mind as per the method given in the Shastras, getting close to that, staying stable in the flow of similar thoughts for a prolonged period of time, just as the steady flow of oil is called worship, upasana.
So what is worship? Definition of worship. उपासना क्या होती है? कि एक जो हमारे को बताई हुई चीज है, वो चीज हमारे मन में बहुत देर तक लगातार कॉन्स्टेंटली चलती रहे, वो चीज ही जो है प्रार्थना कहलाई जाती है. कैसे? जैसे कि एक तेल धारा होती है. तेल जब हम पोर करते हैं, उसको डालते हैं, तो कैसे वो एक निरंतर रूप से जो है वो धारा बन के चलती आती. उस प्रकार से बीच में उसमें गैप नहीं होती है, विदाउट एनी गैप, विदाउट एनी इंटरप्शन. तो कोई भी चीज यदि हम उस प्रकार से करेंगे, विदाउट हैविंग एनी डिसकंटिन्यूटी, irregularity, okay, that will become upasana for a long period of time. So there is an emphasis on abhyas which has been given earlier, which is tallying with what has been said here, practice. Okay.
So can you use the word like intense desire to attain something? Will that be form of upasana? Intense desire किसी को पाने की,
हाँ,
मतलब बेइंतहा चाह हो,
हाँ,
that's a form of upasana also.
हाँ,
But desire is a wish.
हाँ,
It is the practice to achieve the wish.
which has to be persistent. जो perseverance है to achieve that desire, that perseverance, and it is continuous, it's continuity without any break. Okay. It's
So the
more like
perseverance is upasana, not the desire itself
desire is only the goal.
to go.
The actions which will follow. He has rightly pointed that out. Yes. Please go ahead.
Qualities, visheshan of that imperishable are told.
So
It is-
now what was said, that what are the qualities or adjectives which can be told of this Nirgun Nirakar, they are being now told here. Please go ahead.
It is omnipresent like the space, sky, spread everywhere.
So first one is that it is omnipresent. Okay. Sab jagah hai. All pervasive type. Okay. Which is what it's one of its qualities or adjectives is. Okay.
and is unmanifest, therefore inconceivable. Achintantya.
अचिंत्य,
Achintya.
जिसका
Because only
जिसका चिंतन नहीं किया जा सके. चिंतन उस चीज का होता है जो चीज हमें अपनी इंद्रियों से दिखती है. मन बुद्धि उसमें काउंट कर लीजिए साथ में, उसी का चिंतन कर सकते हैं. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पर फिर से बोल दिया है कि वो अचिंत्य है, इनकंसीवेबल.
Well, I
Achintya.
think not only we can sense, but we can conceive. For example, we cannot sense an atom or electron, but we can still conceive. But
In a
this
sense.
is beyond conception.
Yes.
So
Because-
it's not only senses; it's much more than that.
I think this is the part where you're getting an answer to the question that we've asked earlier. Evidence. This is telling you there is no evidence on this. This is only what some
There is
Chinese-
Evidence not possible. By
That-
definition, it's not
that-
possible.
That's the definition that's
the
coming.
word
coming
evidence
from.
by itself is limiting.
Yeah, because you can
Correct.
perceive it. Then here you say you can't perceive it.
This is saying clearly that don't expect evidence.
It is
It's not
inconceivable,
possible.
but it is perceived.
Anyway, let's carry on. Because only those things which can be understood by senses, etc., instruments, only they can be conceived. But the imperishable is opposite of that and is inconceivable and immutable. That thing which appears attractive from outside but defective inside is kuta, koot, khota, jhoot.
So the word kutastha is what we are trying to understand. So kut is one part of that word kutastha. Kut is that which is false, which is looking beautiful from outside but defective inside. Okay, so that is kut. It is jhuta, गलत है, खोटा है.
Like Kutniti.
हाँ, कूटनीति, करेक्ट, खोटी बात.
The word kuta is born by expressions like having a false form, false evidence, etc. in this world. In the same way, Prakriti or Maya, unmanifested or unexplained, consisting of ignorance, etc., with seeds of inner defects or flaws of this world, is also called kuta.
Okay, so this prakriti, this maya, बाहर से देखने में अच्छी लगती है और अंदर उसमें कितने फ्लॉज हैं, कितनी इग्नोरेंस है, कितनी उसमें दोष है, तो उसको कूटा बोला जाता है. और जो उससे परे है उसको कूटस्थ बोलते हैं. प्लीज गो.
And I, in the form of its presiding power, is the kutastha.
Okay, so that which is the ultimate, that which is Brahma, imperishable Brahma, which we're talking about, is also having this quality, adjective called kutastha. Okay, so we understood achintya, we understood kutastha. Please.
And that which is like a stack or a pile, based in it without doing anything, is kutastha. In this manner, being kutastha and hence immobile, achal, and since it is immobile, it is permanently in one place, dhruv, or eternal. Those who worship such Brahman.
So this additionally is the set of adjectives which can be used for Brahman. Okay, so here it is said, you see a pile of bricks, for example. Okay. It is totally inert. It has got no movement, nothing. Okay. It is totally immobile. It is achal. Okay. And then to qualify that achal is movement. achal is एक जगह से दूसरी जगह जाते हैं, जो नहीं जा सकती चीज, उसको अचल बोलते हैं. ठीक. और यहाँ पर ध्रुव इसलिए यूज किया गया कि उसमें कोई कंपन भी नहीं है. There is no vibration in it also. That vibration itself can also be causing change. So when we use the word Om, which has got vibration, उसमें वो भी नहीं है. Okay? And it's been very specifically brought here because of these type of connotations which we may carry because we are a practitioner of Om as a method. Okay, Mandukya Upanishad में, right? ओम का ही खाली है, तो ओम उतना ही है, वहीं तक है उसका लिमिटेशन. सो यहाँ पर इट इज सेइंग इट इज नॉट गॉट एनी स्पंदन, एनी वाइब्रेशन ऑल्सो, एंड देयरफॉर इट इज ध्रुव, इट इज अचल, इट इज omni present. Okay, it is kutastha, it is achintya, it's immutable, it is eternal.
Can we just review this meaning of kutastha? I'm not
Please.
sure if it's
Please.
It seems to include a lot of things.
Kutastha is essentially saying,
But
let's
when it's
understand,
related to Maya.
Yeah. that
Beyond that.
that which is having a flaw within and looks very nice from outside,
That's Gita.
that is kuta.
Yeah.
So Maya is like that.
so. What is
And
kutastha?
what is Gita?
Beyond Maya.
Beyond that, beyond. It's
We'll,
flawless.
you're right, but we'll understand it even more accurately
So then it is
by
the
some more
opposite.
example.
Is it then the
Opposite.
opposite, not beyond?
Opposite. Yeah.
No, we'll
No, no,
understand
it's
that.
not the opposite. It is like माया भी तो भगवान की बनाई हुई है.
Ah,
But he says कि Maya is still kutas. Maya is not kutas. Maya is kut.
good.
Correct.
Maya is good.
Maya is kut. But beyond Maya,
Beyond. That's why I say beyond.
yeah,
So
that is kutas.
let's understand this more. Okay, there are many things which will come into this space. So Kuta is Maya. Kutastha, he says here, I am the presiding power. Okay,
But that gives
I-
you an attribute.
yeah. So that is what is being defined by these Mahapurushas
Huh. Okay.
as the aspect which we can say as Visheshan for that which is Nirgun.
But he's saying a stack or a pile, that's also Gita.
We'll come. So we'll come to that also. Before that, there is a sentence which is saying presiding power.
Yeah.
So essentially, he's saying that I have the power to create this Maya, and that presiding power is also basically indicative of that aspect that I am the one who decides what is the fruit which will come to you as a consequence to your actions. बार बार वो बोलते हैं कि उसको जो फल देने वाला है वो डिसीजन तो केवल मैं ही लेता हूँ. So he is like a presiding power.
But फिर भी वो ये तो बोल के रहे कि कर्म तो करो. कर्म तो फिर भी वो मना नहीं करे कर्म ना
मैं
करो.
वो नहीं कह रहा. जो कर्म का फल है
हाँ वो देंगे.
वो मैं अपने विचार करके अपने हिसाब से देता हूँ.
But that's where the whole definition of asakti, right? So that
Correct.
neither you are neither karm nor fal.
तुम किसी की इच्छा मत करो.
दोनों है.
दोनों
You
हैं.
are not involved in कर्म की भी आप इच्छा मत करो, कर्म के फल की
नहीं,
भी इच्छा.
कर्म जो
We
है
discussed there.
हाँ वो हो चुका.
हाँ.
कर्म जो है हमें कर रहे हैं भगवान के लिए.
भगवान के
ये
लिए.
अभी हमने 11वां
कर्म इसलिए ना करो क्योंकि उसको फल की इच्छा है.
नहीं, कर्म
कर्म-
इसलिए नहीं कि मैं कर्म एंजॉय करता हूँ.
जी.
कर्म इसलिए क्योंकि भगवान के लिए.
जी
हाँ.
जी.
और फल तो
ईश्वर
भगवान
देगा.
ही नहीं है.
ईश्वर देगा.
वो तो ईश्वर के हाथ में ही है. तो उस प्रकार से वो एक प्रकार से प्रिसाइडिंग पावर है. ओके.
ये माया है, वो मायावी है.
Yeah, that is very true.
So
Because he's beyond it. He's the
Beyond.
one who's created this.
now let us look at what is another definition of kutastha. Okay. It is that on which is the basis for everything, which is providing you the base for everything. Let's understand how. Okay, I'm going to give you an example. You've seen a ironmonger, a guy who's
लोहार.
लोहार, जो कि गर्म करके लोहे को किस पे रखता है?
मेटल पे रखता आयरन पर ही है लेकिन मारता है.
वो किस पे
हथौड़े
रखता है?
किस पे?
वो कोई मिट्टी पे तो नहीं रखता
ना
ना. किस पे रखता है?
कोई मेटल की चीज.
कोई मेटल का एक ब्लॉक होता है,
ब्लॉक है.
The anvil.
करेक्ट.
एनविल. हाँ, ओके. एनविल पे रख के उसके ऊपर वो लाल चीज को रखता है और ऊपर से हथौड़े को मारता है.
करेक्ट.
उस एनविल को कूटस्थ बोलते हैं. इट इज लाइक दैट कूटस्थ. उस पे जो है वो उसका बेस है जिसके ऊपर आप रख के सारा संसार चलाते हैं.
Foundation.
Correct. It is like it's been mentioned earlier here also, that it's like a container, like a pot, जिसके अंदर सारा सब कुछ है, सारा यूनिवर्स में भरा पड़ा है, मगर वो उसको होल्ड करके रखता है. जैसे मैंने बताया कि एनविल है जिसके ऊपर रख के हम कुछ भी करते हैं, उसको कुछ नहीं होता, वो एक परे है, मगर वो बेसिस है जिसके कारण हम जन्म लेते हैं, ये सारा संसार व्यक्त होता है. These are examples of more the manifested one, but if you look at the aspect of Nirgun Nirakar, then it will be said, वो रस्सी नहीं होती तो ये
कोई सांप नहीं.
सांप.
I was wondering when this.
When I will say this. You were waiting for me to say it, otherwise you would say it, right? Okay, so in that sense, it is kutastha. Various ways to look at it. Okay? And the pile is also that inert thing which is having no movement, just like that anvil. Everything is happening around it. But that has been used more in the context of Achal and Dhruv. Okay, that pile, inert stack of anything. Okay, please go on. So those who worship such Brahma, उनके बारे में अब ये ब्रह्मा क्या है, वो इस तरह की है, अचिंत्य है, omnipresent है, immutable है, eternal है, कूटस्थ है, नॉन मूविंग है, अचल, उसमें स्पंदन भी नहीं है, इनकंसीवेबल है. ठीक है, अब इनको हम क्या बोल सकते हैं? दे आर नॉट क्वालिटीज, दे आर एडजेक्टिव्स व्हिच आर बीइंग यूज्ड by people who have realized that. Okay, so now please go ahead.
Those who worship such Brahman by the practice of hearing, Shravanam, and reflection, Mananam, on the understanding of the essence, by regular or constant removal of the thought of non-Atma and substituting it with the thought of Brahman, is the purpose of this practice.
So how do we worship this Brahma? Now this is described in this sentence very simply. Yeah, by the practice of
Second paragraph.
श्रवणम मननम. श्रवणम का मतलब है कि सुनना, उसके बारे में, उस चीज के बारे में सुनना, उसके साथ बारे में पढ़ना. जो भी हम ग्रहण करते हैं अपनी पांचों इंद्रियों से, वो श्रवणम में आ जाता है. ठीक है. मननम, उस पे रिफ्लेक्ट करना, बार बार उस पे जो है उस बात को समझने की, उस पे रिफ्लेक्ट करना, उसको अप्लाई करना, उसको प्रैक्टिस करना, वो मननम. वो मननम जो किस चीज पे करना है, ये जो एसेंस है, ये जो ट्रूथ है, ये जो अल्टीमेट है, ये जो निर्गुण है, उस पे ये कैसे है, क्यों है, क्या मतलब है, कैसे बनता है, क्या होता है, हम कैसे अपने आप ही इस पर कोई चीज थोपते हैं, मैं कौन हूं, उस चीज को समझने के अंदर भी इस चीज पे आता है. क्योंकि मैं यदि अपने आप को समझूं कि मैं ब्रह्मन हूं, तो उसके बाद में मैं उस ब्रह्म, कैसे मैं ये शरीर के तरफ बार बार अपने को ले जाता हूं, कैसे अपने मन बुद्धि के अनुसार मैं चलता हूं, जबकि उससे वो तो ऑपोजिट है. इस तरह की चीजों पे चिंतन करना, श्रवणम पहले सुनना और मननम उस पे जो है रिफ्लेक्ट करना. ठीक है, ये बड़ी इंपॉर्टेंट चीज यहाँ पर है, क्योंकि नेक्स्ट चैप्टर जो 13th है वो सब इसी पे है कि कैसे हमको ब्रह्मा को कैसे रियलाइज करना है. यहाँ पर तो अब हम भक्ति और सगुण और सगुण और निर्गुण के बीच में अभी हम समझ रहे हैं क्या डिफरेंसेस है, पर वहां पर तो निर्गुण पे ही आ जाएगा। ठीक है, चलिए आगे बताइए।
Does it also imply, therefore, that you need the control of the senses,
एब्सोल्युटली,
and in particular, the ability to hear and listen and take out from that listening what is important and filter out what is not
Yeah.
part of this?
Yeah. And how do you do it?
But
By
that is for each sense. Your first sentence, the control of your senses,
Because
which is not only
these-
hearing,
these
it's
two
what
are-
you see
these
and
two are
what you
part of the
perceive,
senses.
what you taste. And what
we'll
you perceive.
we'll go into those depths, Avi. Let's not open that up
Let's
just now.
not.
Because how do you control your senses? We'll talk about that. Okay. So here, what he's saying that by regular or constant removal of the thought of non-atma. मैं क्या चीज नॉन आत्मा, मैंने ये कुर्सी देखी, वो कुर्सी क्या है, एक फॉर्म है, इट इज नॉन आत्मा। उसको सब्स्टिट्यूट किया किस थॉट से, यह भी उसी आत्मा से जो आत्मा कूटस्थ है, उसी के अंदर से ये जो है उत्पन्न हुई है, उसके द्वारा उत्पन्न हुई है, प्रकृति द्वारा उत्पन्न हुई है, जो कि इस निर्गुण ने जो है उसकी शक्ति से प्रकृति उत्पन्न हुई है। इस प्रकार से उस थॉट को बदलना, इसको मैं अनात्मा को आत्मा ही समझना, ये बात पहले भी आई है, पहले भी कहीं पे चैप्टर में बताया है, 6 में होना चाहिए।
हर चीज में ईश्वर देखना
Yeah, we
है,
said
that's what it is.
everything animate and inanimate.
Yeah.
करेक्ट।
हर चीज में ईश्वर देखना, चाहे वो
अब इसमें-
मूवेबल हो या इमूवेबल हो।
मतलब
what it
जिंदा
is.
है या पत्थर है या इंसान,
Yeah,
कुछ भी है।
that's exactly.
यहाँ पर बहुत स्पेसिफिकली बोला गया है कि रिप्लेसिंग इट विद ब्रह्मन और आत्मा। वहां पर वर्ड यूज किया है ईश्वर, यहाँ पर ब्रह्मन यूज किया है। ठीक, आगे पढ़ेंगे।
The two qualities of being immobile, achal, and eternal, dhruv, have been given in support, something to live by, of the qualities given earlier.
ये थोड़ा वर्ड्स में थोड़ा इशू है,
हाँ,
because you said no vibration, स्पंदन नहीं है, and here it says eternal, but dhruv actually is pole. Like ध्रुवीकरण is polarization, और ध्रुव तारा है because that's
Dhruv
a
is-
permanent position.
करेक्ट, इट्स अ परमानेंट
Yeah.
पोजीशन,
Yeah.
स्टेडी।
तो
Yes,
उसमें वाइब्रेशन का तो कॉन्सेप्ट नहीं है।
हाँ, वो उसको उस तरह से यूज किया है वहां पे ध्रुव को दिखाने के लिए। जो ध्रुव तारा है उसको हम स्टेबल एक ही
हाँ,
जगह पे हमेशा
एक ही
स्थिर
जगह,
रहता है,
always there.
हाँ,
Yeah.
स्थिर रहता है, नॉन मूविंग है, और उसको हमने स्पंदन के बिना भी कह दिया। हाँ, ठीक है। नाउ लेट्स गो टू द नेक्स्ट श्लोक।
1204. And those who control their senses in various ways will stop their interaction with objects always, at all times, with an equanimous mind.
So now let's just halt there.
Yeah.
Here, okay, and let's go back to a little discussion we were having about controlling our
Sense.
Sense.
senses. How do we control our senses?
By focusing on
Correct. On something which is, let's say, Brahma
Brahya
or Ishwar
or Ishwar,
or cosmic, whatever.
whatever.
So
How
the
else
mind-
do we
So the mind
control?
comes into play.
But जब senses हैं तो mind है ना।
So the senses are both the physical and the metaphysical or non-physical.
So let's understand. यहाँ पर जो एग्जाम्पल हम समझने की कोशिश करेंगे कि हमारी जीभ है, It's a sense, okay? एक सामने रसगुल्ला है, जब तक हम रसगुल्ले को चखेंगे नहीं तब तक उसमें स्वाद का पता नहीं लगेगा। तो जो विषय है रसगुल्ला, जो जीभ है वो हमारी इंद्रिय है। ठीक, जब तक वो इंद्रिय और उस विषय का पूरी तरह से संपर्क नहीं होगा तब तक वो उसकी जो उसका जो स्वाद है हमें पता नहीं लगता।
Sweetness.
जो स्वाद है, it is something which is going to attract us, we like it or we dislike it. And then as soon as we like it or dislike it, there is a certain sense of I have a desire for it or I have an aversion for it. As soon as I get caught up in this desire and aversion because of my like and dislike, because of this aspect, उसमें क्या गुण है, after I have come in contact with the subject and I get attracted to it and I like desire, then the entire cycle starts. So understand that the cycle starts with the object, the Vishay being there. The cycle starts with my sense coming, being there. These are two things which are there, but only when they come in contact with each other, with a certain relationship, sampark, sansarg hota hai. Okay, they join in some manner. I am passing by this room. I may not see anybody sitting in this room, even if this room is full, because my mind is elsewhere. I have my eyes, I've seen, but I've not seen anybody sitting. Am I right? This is an example. जब तक मेरा माइंड से संसर्ग नहीं होता उससे, तब तक मैं उसके बारे में कुछ कह नहीं सकता. अब क्या कहा, वो संसर्ग नहीं होगा यदि आप में क्या नहीं होगा, stop their interaction with the objects. This interaction which is happening with these objects, that has to be stopped to be able to control your senses. ठीक है?
Isn't it the other way around? You control your senses to prevent that contact.
हाँ. So both ways it can happen. Now let's look at it again. Yeah, I control my senses by saying that I am now focused only on something else.
Yeah, so that way the Rasgulla is immaterial to me because I'm focused somewhere else.
Yeah, so I'm passing by this room.
Yeah.
I'm focused on something
Something
else,
else.
so I have not seen it.
Correct.
Okay,
Correct.
that's right. Now, next is that if this particular sense itself, okay, is I am not interacting with it at all.
I don't eat it at all.
I'm not interacting it with it. मतलब कि मैंने उस तरफ देखा ही नहीं. Okay, so it is could be initiated by the subject.
No, but if you don't see what's in front of you, that's not being in the present moment, right? That's being, your mind is in the past or future. You have to be focused in the present. And then
If you're
how can
focused-
you not see it? You have to
if
see
you
it
ca-
because
if-
it's in front of
So
you.
if you're focused in the present, okay, and you see it, so how are you going to handle?
So now that's what he's saying, that you don't get moved by pleasure or pain, you remain stable.
Correct. So
So,
he is explaining
yeah,
that
he's
as a next
explaining
step, that
Yeah.
be equanimous.
Yeah.
Don't be somebody who's going to be carried away by the aspect कि मेरे को last time रसगुल्ला बड़ा अच्छा लगा था.
But you have to see it, I mean, because it's in front of you. Because if you don't see it, that means your mind is elsewhere. That means it's either thinking of something in the past or
Not
you're thinking
necessarily,
of the
But I
future.
was not necessarily. I'm thinking you're focused on
Something else. Let's say Bhagwan.
Paramatma.
No, but if you're walking, if you're focusing on Paramatma and walking, you can fall, or I mean, if you're in this world, you have to focus on what is in front of you,
Not
isn't it?
necessarily, but I have a very
Yeah, it
absurd
both are
example.
possible. So suppose I have walked past this place thinking of something else. Fine, I've not seen it. But if I have seen it,
Even then you don't
But
feel
what if I'm
anything.
walking by the pool and I don't see it? I jump in.
That's what I'm saying. You
no.
can't
So
do that.
so let's look at it. So I see it, and there are certain reactions which I'll have. Okay, as long as those reactions are not leading to the
Pleasure or pain.
to the eventuality of desire and aversion, or pleasure and pain,
Then you're fine.
then you are just walking past.
But you have to
So
be able
You are
to
therefore
see it.
equanimous.
So somebody can say that you are ignoring them.
No,
Is that
when you are equanimous, you are aware.
Okay.
You are aware. You're fully aware,
Yeah, you have to be aware. That's
and
important.
that awareness is leading to that equanimity is taking care of that awareness. Okay, you're not getting affected by that which is happening to it, and you're choosing therefore to be equanimous, or by nature in that particular circumstance you are equanimous.
I mean, if you see God in beauty, if you see God in ugliness, and you see God in everything, so then you are
That is equanimous.
equanimous.
Yeah.
And the word equanimous is not about मेरा क्या समता भाव है उस तरह से. This equanimity is about seeing the sameness in everything.
Yeah. See, if you're sitting in a chair, if you're like sitting like in the forest meditating and only thinking of God, then it's fine because you see the things around you, but you're not moving. But if you're moving, you have to be alert. You have to see what's in front of you. Otherwise, you can fall, get hurt. As said, jump. You
Pata
can
nahi,
fall in the pool.
I have
नहीं, अजीब ऐसा है.
very absurd example. And it has happened many times. My wife asked me, I'm attending a wedding, my niece's wedding, and my wife asked me on phone, what is she wearing? And honestly, I don't know. I don't know the color. I'm there, I've seen it, but I'm so apathetic, it doesn't matter to me. So it doesn't register.
No, but most people, if they don't see what's in front of them, is because they're thinking of something else.
Yeah, but
Past or the future.
you're right about that
That's what
also,
I'm
which is
Normally, human beings would do that.
which is what we
That's
are.
absent-mindedness, perhaps.
He's not
in a way.
interested
No,
in
no,
knowing
no.
what the
No,
what
I
he's
think
wearing
let-
or what
let's-
color
Can I
Then let me just sort of
give an
put a
example?
hold to this because I think we'll carry on for too long. We have limitation.
But I wanted to
When
give
you
one
look at the aspect of now, of presence, no future, no past, of awareness, mindfulness, then that is a stream of thinking which is being addressed by what she's talking about. And what you're talking about is absence of that particular interest by itself in that subject. That is,
That is interesting.
yeah, that's okay. Which is, so both ways are covered in this particular example. Okay, what it is meant to say is that stop those interactions with the senses, with the objects. Okay, that's how you control your senses
Can I just
at all times with an equanimous mind. Yes, please.
just wanted to make so there are two ways we can work on this. One is that in our own minds we have got this knowledge of we have this conviction that in the interest of larger goal, I give up. So the other is that say I forcibly stop that interaction and then settle my mind because once I do it with force, then for some time there would be some ripples in the mind, but then again settle it through.
I think it's what next step.
Not seeing it.
And one step is I force myself, and the next step is it doesn't matter to me.
You can maybe do it both ways. Like in some ways, it is easy to control.
So one is an
contact
aspect.
of the senses.
One is an aspect of abhyas and practice. The other one is an aspect which comes naturally after abhyas and practice. It becomes a second nature.
Like it's out of sight.
Yeah.
First you start controlling it, then it becomes a practice.
Practice.
Your window increases
Correct.
by
Exactly.
practice.
You're right. So let's go forward
The
here,
best
please.
exercises if you're driving in Gurgaon. How do you control your reactions to what's going on around?
We'll come back to this.
Yeah.
Let's test
You know,
it after 1 month.
I think in 5 minutes I will experience it.
So 1 month later, let's examine how equanimous you are as you drive.
No, but you're 100% correct. How
Because you can't
equanimous
stop the
your real
interaction.
equanimity is that you don't you
Yeah.
see it, you perceive it, but you don't react.
Yeah,
Okay, so that is the equanimity of mind.
yeah.
And please let's finish the sentence.
We were in 1204, right?
Yeah.
Second line, please. At all times with an equanimous mind,
With an-
meaning whose mind remains same in pleasure and pain alike. Such persons worshipping the imperishable and are devoted to the welfare of all beings, okay, attain me. Okay, so what has he said? He said a few things here. First is that you substitute that thought of non-atma with Brahma. Okay, and then you say that you control your senses. Okay, Jitendra. Okay, and have an equanimous mind and do actions for the welfare of humanity or human beings. So 4 or 5 things have been said here. Then you can attain me. Fifth one, I think, is the Shravanam Mananam, which has been. Now let's read the rest of this shloka and then we have a discussion. Okay, let me just finish this little piece. Yeah, please.
There is little to say about those worshippers of the imperishable attaining me. This is so because it has been stated in earlier 7:18 that I understand the knower to be my Atma, myself. Hence, for him who is one with the Lord, it is incorrect to say whether such sages are complete or not complete. Yuktatam, ayuktatam.
Now he is said that you become one with me. And once you become one with me, okay, then there is no two.
So that is the where.
So let me just finish this thought. And therefore, to say whether it is yuktatam or ayuktatam does not arise
For such cases.
for those cases who have worshipped me and who have become one with me. Okay, and therefore, with this, he is also said that the question of superiority, which we have heard as a word in the beginning of this particular session, okay, that word ceases to make any sense in this particular case. Okay, so there is nothing superior, there is nothing inferior, there is nothing comparable because there is no two in this particular state. Okay, this is where you reach, this is what it is, and these are the steps by which you can reach. Has been now given in these three shlokas, that the definition of Brahma, in a sense, and the steps which you can undertake to reach there, which is called worship by itself. If it is done persistently, regularly, without a break, then the realization through mananam. And the next step after mananam is nididhyasanam. Okay, you can reach that state very easily. So that's what has been explained here. Now, please go ahead. We can have a little discussion. Thank you.
I just want. I missed that full discussion on 11:55. But if I, that's the one that bothered me then. Bothered me in the sense I'm not settled in my mind on that. And now, if I take that with stop their interaction with objects, there seems to be a direction that you have to kind of renounce, not kind of, you have to renounce from normal day-to-day attachments, day-to-day or life living, relationships, likes, dislikes, all that has to go. Whether it is you say stop interaction with objects, whether you say you have to give up the relationships as in 11:55, it seems to be kind of a mandatory threshold that you have to cross. Is that a correct interpretation or understanding from what we have read?
There are two aspects to it.
Yeah.
One is the aspect which you have said you have to do this. Second is the aspect that may happen. Okay. It is that will happen. But the steps you take are to perform actions as you're supposed to perform your actions. Okay? And we can discuss that aspect more in depth to understand that how that relates to this directly. Nowhere in Gita will he say that you step out of that mode of performing actions. In fact, here it is a very interesting thing he has done. If he tells Arjun, shloka number 4 is the most important shloka, and that is how you can become one with me. And he says this is superior. Then Arjun will say, thank you, I am going away from this battle.
Yeah.
So he has called that action which is dedicated to that one only, fully dedicated to that one only, the Sagun Sakar aspect, as that aspect which is superior. in shloka number 2, where Bhagavan has spoken first. And he says very clearly that go and perform an action with a single-minded focus, do it for me and me alone.
Actually, I was thinking of that in the context of equanimity. In the sense that he is perturbed because there is uncles and brothers and cousins. In equanimity, everybody is equal, everything is equal. And do your karma. You can't do your karma unless you attain that equanimity and you're dedicated.
That equanimity which is being referred to is being described here as saying that anything which I see as Atma, as Anatma, I am saying it is Atma alone. That tattva, that essence alone is there. I am not, I see the snake, but I all the time see that which is the rope in it. That is what is being suggested. Okay. When you say control of senses, it is that control or it is that understanding which is being brought to your senses. And through that understanding, therefore, you are not getting attached to those objects or not interacting with those objects. Now you see how it is happening. I have answered your question, but I don't know whether you got the answer or not, which we can take on separately again and again.
Objects, you are including in that living objects as well.
विषय जो कि ये हम
Human beings also.
व्यक्त हैं,
Yeah, that's exactly.
Human
right.
beings too.
Yeah.
But Lord Krishna says in Gita itself actually कि ये तो सारे जितने शत्रु तेरे को नजर आ रहे हैं, चाहे भाई बंधु, जो इन सबको पहले मैं मार चुका हूँ,
हाँ, we have discussed
ये सब मर चुके हैं,
we
तू
discussed
निमित्त
this.
मात्र के लिए खड़ा हो जा ताकि तू राज भोग सके.
When you finished this line and you said, when I become one with the Lord, I suddenly thought of Meera. That would be the perfect example.
Yeah.
And also when you said that, you can walk across a room and not see anything. So she could not see anything beyond Krishna.
Correct.
So maybe.
Yeah, exactly. Meera is a good example. Even Kabir is an example. Okay, there are many sants which are examples.
Yeah.
We have heard of many of them, the stories about them.
That was the era of Sufism where you talk of desire, intense desire. वो उसी से इश्क करते थे. God से.
Of course. उनको उस नजर ही नहीं आता.
कुछ और है ही नहीं.
वो रमझे हुए थे उसके अंदर भगवान की.
माँ बाप, आशिक,
कुछ नहीं.
सब कुछ वही.
सब वही है. हर तरह का प्यार उसी में ढूंढो.
उसी में प्यार वही है.
Thank you.